Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Scrap Mechanic. Today we are back in the Five Nights at Freddy's map, and it's been probably a year and a half since we were last on this map. So, we've gone back, we have finally finished it. There was a lot of things missing. It was really just a bunch of rooms in the middle of a flat map. There was no exterior to it. As you can see now, we have a parking lot, full exterior. I've gone back and I've redone some of the characters, and I've changed some things up here. Now, the intro that you saw does not spoil everything. There's a couple things in this map that you're going to see as we walk through it that's going to change and happen. So I hope you guys enjoy this map. Now, disclaimer, there's a couple things that I'm going to probably get wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of the games. I do really like the characters in the map, but I don't play the game a whole lot. So I know last time I did one of these, I got some things wrong, and I still get comments to this day about what I got wrong. I think I called Bonnie a girl and Foxy a girl, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. But we're going to be jumping right into this here today, go through the map, and check out all the little goodies that we have in here. But anyways, if you're enjoying Scrap Mechanic on the channel, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you have any suggestions for other video game builds, comment below. But yeah, let's jump right into this. Alright, so here is the exterior of the building. Now, as far as the exterior, there is not really any pictures on the internet of this. There's a lot of pictures of like fan-made ones, so I don't think there's an official this is what it looks like on the outside look, but I've based my look on several things, some Gmod maps, even a couple Minecraft maps. A couple of them had this style on it with this kind of checkerboard pattern. I added some of the neon lights at the top, which, by the way, they're not lit up because there's a switch inside we're going to need to hit to light all this up. So you've got that, you've got like the pizza sign up here lit up, and overall, I actually think it looks like a very inviting and friendly building until you get to the inside of it. So this is all new. Like last episode, there was nothing out here. It was, you could see the rooms of the actual interior, and that was it. So we'll go into more detail on this exterior here in a minute because there's a couple things on the roof that I want to show you guys. Alright, so here's the old cast of characters. I've gone in, I've redone all of these, except for the Foxy one looks pretty much the same. Now you got to keep in mind, we are dealing with 1x1 blocks in Scrap Mechanic, so I can't get the most detail on these, especially considering the scaling, how they're not really that big. But I think we did a really good job with the new ones. So these are the other ones. You got Bonnie, Freddy, Chica, and Foxy over here. So I know there was one character I was missing from the first game, which he is inside the new restaurant. So let's go ahead and take a peek inside. Alright, so here's the entrance. Now there is a couple liberties that I've taken with this map. Most of the layout is, I would say, 90% correct. There's one little dead zone that I saw on every map that I wasn't sure what was in the corner until I saw what was probably a fan-made map. So I inserted an extra little room in here. So anyways, you've got the entrance over here. This over here says exit, but realistically you can go in either way. And we're going to pop in here. There we go. And boom. Here we are on the inside. Let's go ahead and close those doors there. I was always confused as to where the entrance was. I had no clue. I saw the doors in some of the pictures, which none of them are from the in-game pictures because you don't see the doors on any of the cameras. So I was like, man, where are those at? And I realized they're actually by the stage. I kind of thought they were at the ends of the hallway, which apparently they're not, according to most maps that I've seen and most diagrams that I've seen online. So I hope I got that right. I think I did. But we'll see. Anyways, we're going to walk over here. This is the stage. These are the new characters. They're all a little bit fatter. They all have a little bit more movement to them. And when I say movement, let's go and grab our connection tool here. Check this out. A lot of these characters have a whole lot more bearings in them. So these things like to move, especially when you're not looking or when you go into certain areas of the map. But anyways, characters, you got Bonnie, Freddy, and Chica. I think I've made the stage a little bit bigger. Plus I did the painting stuff that you see in some of the pictures. There's like a little sun in the background, and you have the clouds behind the stage. So Bonnie's got the guitar now. That was one thing that the original Bonnie never had in my map. And then Freddy pretty much looks the same. He's a little bit chunkier. I was able to fit some more pieces in, and I think there were newer pieces that we didn't have last time that I was able to give them a little bit more shape. And Chica's the one that I'm still not 100% happy with. I think it looks better than the original one because it's got a little bit more round shape, but the beak and stuff was kind of a pain to do. But overall, pretty happy with them. Now, keep an eye on them. You see them in their current position. They might change a little bit throughout the episode, and I'll show you guys what triggers the change. But let's move on to the next area. Alright, so this is one area that hasn't really changed, which, by the way, you're going to see these cameras up at the top. These cameras are all about in the right position as far as the in-game cameras. So you will see those if you're wondering what those are on the tops here. But anyways, this is like the little maintenance room in here. This hasn't really changed. I always thought this was one room that I got pretty correct with the heads, the exoskeleton here. And this is just overall, I don't like this room. It creeps me out. I could not work in a facility like this. Seeing the animatronic things, especially older animatronics, weren't that great looking. So they all look creepy, even though they're supposed to be like cuddly things for kids. So anyways, this is the little storage closet. We're going to walk out through here. So anyways, the next character we're going to check out is Foxy in the Pirate Cove. Alright, meet the updated Foxy here. Now this is one character that did not receive that big of a change because this character's really skinny looking. It's got some holes in its torso where you can see the exoskeleton. And overall, this is like I think it said it was a decommissioned character, and it just kind of sits over here in the cove. But yeah, it's creepy. It didn't receive much change because I thought this was actually one of the more solid attempts. I did change stuff up with the eyes. I try to put like a little patch over it. Because originally it just had both normal eyes, I believe. But yeah, this thing, this little curtain area, this actually folds back. This was something that Mr. Non-Newtonian had built in the original build. So you'll be walking around. Sometimes this thing will switch over. I wanted to actually change some things. I wanted to make her disappear, which I might still be able to do that. And I'll show you how here in a minute because we have a couple characters that like to, they like to pop down at times. So we'll see what we can do about this character here. But anyways, let's go ahead and move over to the next area. Alright, we're here by the restrooms and we're here by the kitchen area. Now you're going to notice an opening over here and a couple maps that I've seen. I have not seen any physical pictures. There's nothing there, but a couple map diagrams show a little cashier's area over by the entrance. So this could be completely wrong. But I had this building's kind of squared off in the front, so if not, this would have been a complete dead zone over here. So I went ahead and put a little cashier's area. This is also all the main connections for the animatronics on the stage. So anytime they switch over and move, it all happens over here. But over here, this is the restrooms. This is another area where it's a little strange at first because you don't see any pictures inside the bathroom. You only have a camera that sets about right here in this hall. But if you go in here, I went ahead and made up my own little interior to the bathroom. I saw a couple little fan-made pictures of the bathroom. I'm assuming it was in some of the maybe the Gmod maps and some of the source mod film animations that I saw. Some things actually had a bathroom interior. Now both of these bathroom interiors, they are both exactly the same. Think I did a pretty good job here. There's actual toilets in there, by the way. We'll pop back out here. One thing I didn't get really correct about this hall, there is a bunch of little pizza slices on the walls, but I could not find a picture or an item that actually looked good, so I left the wall pretty bare, besides the bathroom logos. Now this is the way also to the little cashier area. Like I said, I just completely made this up. I really needed an area to store some more controllers. By the way, these are the controllers for the animatronics, like I said, on stage, but they are color-coded. Yellow being Chica, brown being Freddy, and the purple one being Bonnie. So if you need to change anything with the animatronics, it's all in here. These are their logic gates. You can pose them all different ways. Most of the bearings are hooked up. Now there is a couple free bearings on the animatronics because when they turn, sometimes their arms will hit the body, and they were kind of rubbing together when you had all the bearings hooked up. So it looks a little bit more natural when they move. Now, as far as when they move, we're about to go over that. Now, by the way, we are in the dining hall. This does, I believe, look pretty correct from what I've seen. I remember this was something that took us a while to do because we weren't sure about the table layout. but I think this is pretty correct. Now, as far as the animatronics moving, there are several sensors placed in this building that cause several triggered events to happen. One being the animatronics moving. Now, I wasn't sure I was going to tell you guys this. I was kind of hoping that you guys would just download the map and start to wander around and notice that stuff's moving. But one of the little slight movements that these things do up here in the front, there's a sensor right here, and you have to be within range. If you walk too far out, you won't trigger it. You can see the position they're in now. We'll hit it here. And they all slightly turn forward and move their heads and arms. We'll hit it again. Oh, I think we're a little too far. Let's hit it again. Yeah, it's just a little thing that's going to play with your mind. If you're playing with the map, you know, of course, you see them looking one way, and then you pass by an area, you look back at the stage, and all of a sudden, they're a little turned. Bonnie's guitar is down a little bit. The heads are turned. One of Freddy's arms is actually moved outward. So it's just little details like that. I was hoping that it was going to play with your mind a little bit. I was originally going to do this map at night with the night mod, but I realized it was way too dark. You could hardly see when I was recording. I was like, man, it's going to be really hard for anybody to see. I do want to take a look at it again, and maybe I tried to light some of the outside up, but a lot of the exterior lights that I put on here kind of shine through the walls, and it looked really weird in here. So, if you're wondering about the night mod there, I know there's going to be some comments about that. But yeah, that's just one of the little triggered events here on the inside. Alright, so this is the kitchen. Now, this was an area last episode. This thing was completely empty. I had nothing in here because you don't really see this in the game. It's the camera's busted, or it's either that or it's too dark in here, so you don't see anything. Now, I had a lot of comments saying, this is where Golden Freddy was, and this was one of the things, I never had this in the last episode. There was no Golden Freddy on the map. Well, now there is. So we're going to pop open this kitchen. This is all made up by me. I don't know exactly what this would look like. I'm just kind of guessing what a kitchen in a pizza restaurant would look like. Alright, so we're going to walk in here. There's another triggered event here, and, well, the doors just closed by themselves. I really wish this was a little bit darker. Yeah. Well, there is a little character in here, and he's hiding in the corner. That would be Golden Freddy. Now, Golden Freddy is, the first time I saw a picture of him, it was actually made me really uneasy. He doesn't have really any eyes. I don't know the complete story. A lot of people think he's actually a ghost, or it's like an illusion from what I've read, but I don't know. The pictures I saw of it, that was probably one of the more creepy ones. So yes, he sits in here. He will occasionally, he will move, and we're not going to talk about that until it happens. But yes, Golden Freddy, he sits kind of behind the shelf in here. Other than that, it's just kind of your normal kitchen setup. Now, this was a really creepy area in the when I'd had this map at night. You could not see a thing in here. I had no exterior lights that were even close to this area, so it was almost pitch black. But yeah, this kitchen, you got your stoves here, or ovens. You've got your dishwashing area. You've got your storage, refrigeration, and like a storage shelf here. So thought that was a little cool thing. Now, as far as the door closing by itself, it's not on a timer. It's another sensor situation. I've got a sensor tucked in right there. So if you're walking around, you so happen to see like a door close on you, you might have run into a sensor, or it's just haunted. Either way. Alright, so we've gone through this main area in detail. It is time to go down the halls. Now, there's not much that's changed with the halls themselves, but there is a couple triggered events that happen in these halls that you guys are going to need to look out for. Okay, so this hall over here is pretty much empty. It's just a normal hall. Some people used to tell me that there used to be like a grate or something over here that's possibly where Golden Freddy would go through to get to the office, which I don't think that's 100% true. But I do have like a little air vent over here. Now this one, it's pretty empty hall. But the other hall has the storage closet, and this is where I believe Bonnie will move from the stage sometimes when you swap over to this camera. So if you're going to be casually walking around this restaurant, you can kind of walk here to the back. Hey, let's go check out the office. And what was that noise? Something just happened here. Walk over here. Oh, did you see that? This is another one of this is probably my favorite triggered event. There is a sensor down here in the hall that when you trip it, Bonnie appears in the closet. Now, this is a pretty simple method to do this. A lot of people know that the pipe piece in the piston can go through walls, so that wall will shoot back. Bonnie will shoot through. I'll show you guys this on the outside here in a second, but it's a very easy thing to do. But I thought it was neat because if you're walking through here and you make a loop and you come around and all of a sudden there's a Bonnie setting in the closet, that would make some people a little uneasy. But anyways, this is the main attraction in here. This is where the security officer is. Now, this is an area where I think we were pretty correct on this. I even have some of the clutter that's on the desk. You had like a fan here, some monitors. One thing we got wrong about the security room in the first episode of this, there is actually some windows in this thing. I didn't realize from the pictures, and it took me reading about it, the whole fact you have the doors here, and there's small windows. There's one there and one there. So I guess if you're sitting in the seat back here and you're kind of hiding, yeah, you might see one of them in the windows. Now, I did also hook the, I don't know why we never had these hooked up. I've got the buttons hooked into the seat now, so you can close the doors to keep the animatronics out from the chair here. I have no clue why we had it like this. We used to have to run over and actually hit these and do it that way. So, there is one last little surprise about this security room. Alright, so you got yourself in here, kind of chilled out. You got the building on lockdown here because you're afraid of the animatronics coming through the windows and getting you. You look out here, there's nothing there. Look over here. Nothing there. Oh, look back. There's all of a sudden a golden Freddy in the window. Now, this is not an actual event in the game, I don't believe, but this is something that I thought would be cool. It would kind of creep you out. Now, you're probably asking yourself, where did this one come from? Well, there's a sensor down here that triggers that when you're walking around the little security room. So when you walk off it, oh, there it goes. Back up into the roof. So yeah, that was one of the triggered events. That was my first one I did. I thought that was a really cool touch. Even though it doesn't actually happen in the game, I don't believe, I think Golden Freddy just pops up in your screen. But I thought it would be kind of cool to move one of the characters that way. So, the last thing we're going to do here, we're going to go over to the outside and see how some of this stuff worked. Alright, so the exterior on this side looks a little weird, and that's because of some of the triggered events. Obviously, you see the Bonnie out here. I had to cut its legs off, or its feet off, in order to fit it in that closet. So, if you're asking how this works, this is actually really, really simple. The sensor is right there, so when you walk by the hall, you trigger it. I've got a button here to show you guys what it looks like on the outside. The wall shoots out, Bonnie shoots in, wall closes. So by the time you notice what's happening, most likely it's in the closet and the wall's closed, and you can see how this has no collision here, this little arm on the bearing, or on the piston. So it kind of shoots through, and then if you hit the trigger again, door opens, Bonnie shoots out, door closes. So yeah, pretty simple little setup there. Now, the one up on the roof with the Golden Freddy was a little bit more tricky because the roof piece, I wasn't sure how I wanted to make it disappear. We'll walk around here. What it is, it's got a piston attached to its head, so the roof hatch opens and it just shoots it down. Now, initially, it let in way too much light when that happened, so I did put this little wall up to block out the sunshine. So we'll hit it here, opens up, shoots down, and it's kind of really close to the window, so you don't really see the hatch unless you're really looking for it when this thing's in the window. So, of course, that is the sensor down there in the security room. So we can hit it again. It's going to push it up, and it closes. So, yeah, that is the triggered events. We might do one more episode of this if you guys have any ideas for events and little things that you want to see. If you have any critiques, I know I probably got several things wrong, but you never know. It might be something, if you give me a comment about something that would be neat to add in, I might do that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the intro. If you want to download this map, it will be in the description. If you have any questions about the mods, it's pretty much all derf, and just do all the derf and do all of the Lord Pain mods, and then add the scrap letters mod, which is the writing mod above the door here, and the Ike nature mod, kitchen mod, and the living room mod. I know it's quite a few mods, but in order to make this look the way I wanted it to look, I pretty much had to use that. Now, if you got any questions about that, you can always join the Discord down below. I'll answer any questions. Say if we missed something or if you can't get the map to work, just hit me up there and I can answer those questions for you guys. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that episode. If you like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. If you have any more suggestions for builds like this, comment below. Let me know what you want to see. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you guys next time in Scrap Mechanic.